Hi everybody, it's May, my favorite month because it's my birthday month. I'm going to be turning 42 years old later on, and gosh, how time flies. I still feel like a teenager. Maybe gaming keeps me young or something. I mean, it is kind of the gift that keeps on giving, quite literally. Because here I have 12 gems that are releasing this month that you can play. Hi there everybody, I'm David, and if you are new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe to support top 10s, news, and reviews, and smash that like button to show your love. And now, let's get started going over some of these great games coming out in May, like that little remaster. But first, let's have a word from today's sponsor. Whoa, what's going on here? I thought that this was Dragon Pow, not Girl Pow. Well, I guess it is a good thing that you can play the game one-handed. Dragon Pow is an adventure game set in a fantasy world where you play as a dragon knight, journeying alongside all of your dragons, each with different abilities. You can train and ride them as they attack enemies by devouring ammunition. And I really do personally adore this art style, because here you can experience a variety of different chapters and maps to explore, each with thoroughly distinct settings, and it incorporates roguelike gameplay where you can randomly combine more than 100 skills to create your own exclusive skill tree. The controls are tight, and because it is on mobile, you can play it casually, anytime, anywhere. But don't just take my word for it, because Dragon Power received double pre-registration recommendations from both the App Store and Google Play, along with a 4.5-star rating from Pocket Gamer, and it hit the top of the iOS download charts on its launch day. So if you do like what you see here, please be sure to download Dragon Power today, and you get 111 free draws, as well as 4 dragons for free. And now, let's get on back to today's video. First up at number 1, we have King Arthur Legion 9, releasing for the PC on May 9th. Well, this is definitely a new take on an old legend, and presented in a turn-based, character-centric tactical RPG format. You play as the fallen hero Gaius Bento, who has been granted a demonic legion by his dead emperor in order to find a way out of Tartarus. But whenever you try to leave, you accidentally arrive into the magical realm of the Lady of the Lake, and you instead decide to subjugate the island under your rule and establish an eternal, hellish Roman Empire there. Talk about a dark twist. Number 2, Biomutant, releasing for the Nintendo Switch on May 14th. Every time that I make these lists, I'm always introduced to some new games that I've never heard of. But apparently, I'm like living under a rock or something, because this game has been out since like 2021. But it's just not really my thing, so I completely ignored it. I'm sure a lot of y'all can understand that. Anyway, enough about me. Apparently, this is an open-world kung fu RPG, where you play as like a fox or something. And in my research, I found out that it got some pretty mixed reviews, so I guess I really didn't miss out on much. But anyway, if you are a fan, now you can play it on the go on the Switch. Number 3, Neptunia Game Maker R Evolution, releasing for the PS4, PS5, and Nintendo Switch on May 14th. Another day, another Neptunia game. In fact, this is the first of 2 Neptunia games that we're going to be getting this month. Here you play as older Nep, and you're tasked with growing a defunct gaming studio into a successful business venture. The better that the business does, the more your stats will grow. And as you explore dungeons and find different gaming elements, you can add those ideas to your own games to create the best video game ever. Interestingly, you can also ride your motorcycle through the dungeons, and for the first time, fight with a 4-person party. So this is definitely a different take on that old Neptunia formula. Number 4, Touhou Genso Wanderer Foresight, releasing for the PC on May 14th. These Touhou games seem to be coming at me like left and right constantly. I feel like I'm always talking about them lately, and they all just look so cool. And this is one of those mystery dungeon games where the layout changes every single time that you enter. And apparently it's a fan-made game, where you set it with Raimi and her friends, because basically she passed out after a hard battle, and then upon her reawakening, she found out that she has amnesia. So of course she has to set it with Marissa to regain her memories, and also save Gensokyo, because why not? Number 5, Athenian Rhapsody, releasing for the PS4, PS5, Xbox, Switch, and PC on May 14th. This is a unique, one-of-a-kind, like Earthbound, Undertale sort of thing, but taking place in Athens. And here you can kind of choose to slaughter the enemies in your path, or just kind of like hug it out instead, making friends with your opponents through esoteric knowledge, abstract jokes, memory games, or just other strange, funny interactions. A nice touch, though, is that you have 16 potential party members to discover, as well as plenty of puzzles and a variety of battle mechanics to keep the action fresh. Not only that, but the game promises to be absolutely hilarious, and you can choose your own adventure through Athens as you compose your very own Rhapsody. Number 6, Neptunia Sisters vs. Sisters, releasing for the Xbox on May 21st. This came out previously for all those other systems, but now it's hit the Xbox. And here the Neptunia girls are fighting action RPG style. Just like all the other ones, it is set in the world of game industry. However, here you don't play as the older sisters, instead you play as the younger sisters as you hack and slash your way through hordes of dangerous enemies. I mean, I guess it all sounds well and good on paper, but too bad in practice it's, not all that hot. But people seem to love these games, and the physical edition for the Xbox includes a reversible cover sleeve, as well as a sports swimsuit outfit for free, so why not, I guess. Number 7, Gestalt, Steam and Cinder, releasing for the PS4, Xbox, Switch, and PC on May 21st. This one actually seems pretty frickin' cool, I've gotta say. It's inspired by those 16 and 32-bit classics, and it's a 2D platformer, in the same vein as something like, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. But it's set in a stunningly crafted steampunk clockwork world. And you'll play as Althea, and she's joined by a vibrant cast of colorful characters as they race together to discover the secrets of the steam city of Canaan, and then clobber clockwork golems on their way to thwart the twisted schemes of Canaan's corrupt overseers. Number 8, Wuthering Waves, releasing for mobile and PC on May 22nd. It looks like the next Genshin Impact is here with Wuthering Waves, the anime-inspired, free-to-play open-world RPG where you take control of Rover, who's just woken up from a slumber, and he's joined by a cast of Resonators on the journey to reclaim his lost memories. Over a century ago, an apocalypse hit the planet, and then afterwards strange beings arrived and they sowed havoc and violence across the lands, leaving civilization to tremble on the edge of annihilation. So if you are a fan of mobile RPGs and Genshin Impact and stuff like that, then you really do want to keep an eye out on this one because it does seem like it is the next big thing. Number 9, Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door, releasing for the Nintendo Switch on May 23rd. This was originally released back on the Nintendo GameCube about something 20 or so years ago, I guess, and this classic really has stood the test of time, and it is known as the best Paper Mario RPG ever made. And for good reason. They refined the system from the first game, added in, an actually interesting storyline, as well as memorable characters that you won't forget their names 2 seconds later, and a vibrant world to explore paper style. What I mean by that is you can kind of fold yourself up into a paper airplane, or maybe even a paper boat, or even slip through cracks and walls, since you are literally a piece of paper. It's super cool, and I cannot wait to go back and relive my 20s again. Number 10, Scald, Against the Black Priory, entering early access on the PC on May the 30th. This is a neat looking one, reminding me of those Ultima games from my youth. It is a retro-styled RPG set in a grim Lovecraftian horror fantasy world filled with deadly creatures, as well as a long, involved, branching story and tactical turn-based combat. Do be warned though, it also uses those Dungeons and Dragons rules, where you have to roll the dice to see if you're able to do anything, and you have to see if you're athletic enough or your dexterity is high enough and all that jazz. So if that stuff floats your boat, be sure to check this one out. Number 11, Wan Wan Sword 7, releasing for the Nintendo Switch on May 30th. Here we have an action RPG rooted in Chinese history and mythology, where you take on the role of a calm, reliable family man who was accidentally involved in a tragic accident. So, in order to protect his family, he sets off on a journey to find the truth behind the accident. The action is presented in third person, and the combat implements a smooth combo-based system where you have to use dodging, blocking, and parrying in order to survive. But do not think that this is another Dark Souls clone though, because it ends up playing a lot more like The Witcher 3. So if you're a fan of Henry Cavill, sorry I'm drooling, be sure to pick this one up. Number 12, Crystalla, entering early access for the PC in May. This is an interesting one. You play as a cat warrior blessed with the gift of Crystalla, which basically means that you're able to master the 6 magics of the sacred crystals,
But at the same time, you end up uncovering the source of a terrible curse that's transformed the planet and the creatures all into mutated monsters. This promises to feature challenging combat, acrobatic parkour, and copious amounts of exploration. And from what I can tell, it actually reminds me a bit of Forspoken. I mean, you have those cat-like abilities, the magically inclined combat, and the parkour too. That was the dead giveaway. So if you like that, be sure to check this one out too. So that's it for all the RPGs being released this month. Which ones are you going to pick up? And let me know what your favorites are. Let's all get a discussion going on here, and let's all talk and chat about it, because I'm always in the comments too. And if you like what I do here on the channel, please head on over to the Patreon to sign up for early access to my videos, as well as behind the scenes photographs. The link to it is over in the video description. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.